Hello Total War Gamers, my name is Deacon and welcome back to the Arminius series, and we're gonna play a couple more battles. As I do every time, I try to play 2 in succession and then publish the recording. Should be like half an hour or so, or 20 minutes, which I think is excellent for this kind of gameplay. And as I've mentioned before, ranking up goes pretty fast. And I think the reason why we are progressing relatively fast is we're focusing on just one unit. Say if we were to go for combined arms with both tribesmen and scouts and huntsmen, which I have unlocked them, I just didn't add them to my army. Now if I were to spend and divide all my free XP and silver across different kinds of units in the army, then of course progression would be slightly slower. Also, if I were to play different generals at the same time, then I think it also would be slower. So one way to speed things up a little bit is to just focus on one unit and then progress with that. I think for cavalry it makes sense to have only cavalry, because otherwise your attention is just too spread out and it's not really helping in terms of situational awareness. But say if you were to play as infantry, then it does make sense. For example, archers, you can't always rely on other players to provide screening for you and protect you from flanks. So then it would make sense to, say, bring 1 unit of spares and 2 units of archers so that you can protect yourself. And then still it makes sense to sit behind another player, let them do the screening for you, sit behind, but have 1 unit of spares as a response force if any cavalry comes round or from the rear. Then at least you have something to pin the enemy and draw your archers away. And then of course you're spending all your stuff across 2 kinds of units, and that could slow things down a little bit. And like this player here, 2 archers, 1 milites swords. I won't be milites actually. And here 1 archer, 2 spares, 1 archer, 2 spares. That's the way to go when you have artillery or archery, any ranged units basically. Alright, I'm gonna sit here. So we are at the hot gates once more. I'm gonna play in the center, and as I always do, I'm first gonna go for cover. The watchtower here is pretty close by. Somebody else is already heading up there, so I'm gonna leave it up to them. I am not going to do my own scouting. I am the response force. Now the scouts moving in the center. We have cavalry here, they are withdrawing. Red plug, I hope, does notice infantry is moving in. So I'm gonna go this way and then see if we can flank them. But this appears to be like the smart guy, who's just here to scout for the rest of his friends.
The enemy draws first blood.
And of course it makes sense. Now he's coming over here. Let's move up a little bit more. Enemy artillery moving in. Okay. And
Run them down. Moving and onward. Run. Charge. Forward.
so these levies have pretty much been taken care of. I'm going to pull out right away. Of course,
Our men flee like cowards.
I think we're being hit by cavalry at the same time. No, let's switch targets here. The tribesmen are cutting us up completely.
Our men return to fight again.
That wasn't funny really.
Charge!
Boom. So
Flee like cowards.
the enemy artillery is doing a number on most of our troops. We're behind in numbers. I'm going to suppose that they are protected. So something or someone is slowing us down, debuffing our speed. And I'm gonna try and pull out. We have some units left, and that'll teach me. Now, if this is a smart artillery player, then he has brought his own troops to screen. And whoever the enemy is that is debuffing speed is really doing a good job at it. Now, here is catapults, and they are using their pillar. Okay. Now, this isn't going to save us. I wonder if the frenzy ability makes your units stick in melee.
The Valkyries have come for me. Our men flee like cowards. Shock cavalry. At once. Attack.
So, while we're at it, at least these guys aren't firing on our friends.
Forward, onward. Kill.
And we're basically just doing we're just distracting, keeping them down, pinned down. And I'm gonna take a hit for the team here and just try and keep them in melee for as long as I can. And then we're dead. So hopefully he's gonna bring some balance to our army. The enemy is approaching here. Our base is being defended by one player that has artillery. Okay. No, I'm not exiting the battle. I want to see if we now if we can create numerical superiority here in our base, kill then their numbers, then maybe we have a chance to bring back balance to the force. He's holding them back. This is stupid. Because if you can hurt their morale by doing a recharge, then those units die so much faster. But he's playing the game alone, and this really hurts a team. Because all our guys here are pretty reduced. And now he's moving. He's not. Well, let's see how it plays out. He's gonna use his artillery. And it does kill a lot of their numbers, so... Kamikaze. Quite a few people actually chat. I wonder if there's a way to pin the chat, because I'd like to have it pinned. Let's just continue watching. So all the cavalry is done. Okay, I must say, if Kaplik would have engaged, I think he was even slow to respond, because half his artillery is done for. I think he wasn't paying attention to his rear, which is forgivable. I can picture that happening. So it appears we are going to win this. We're quite ahead in numbers. Kaplik is going to win here. If he turns his attention to the center, then it should be alright. It's just all a matter of killing their numbers now. And the artillery is back in the fight. These guys are going to lose morale, and then they're also finished. Now, I haven't contributed much, it appears. This guy, oh, he's still in the fight. Now at least we are winning, and at least there's a possibility for extra rewards, but I doubt that we've actually, with this I mean, we're not even past 100 kills. Charging infantry in the woods, I have some poor experiences with that. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't do it again. infantry in the woods, I would just he's not paying attention. This is funny. This guy really was isn't fast to respond. And it's actually funny. I wouldn't consider this to be a very good player, given he's just having his attention elsewhere and kind of passive. But then again, he's really contributing to the win. And he has tier 3 infantry as well, and these Theban hoplites, I can't tell which tier they are. Oh, and there's still artillery left, so we're gonna win thanks to the timer and not the actual kills. So I'm gonna exit the battle, yeah, and then review a little bit where to spend the next free XP. My squad commander Arminius is 1400 XP behind on leveling up. 700 XP. Silver? You haven't got enough silver, it says. Oh, I need free XP. Okay, Quaestor 2. It's funny, I really didn't do that much, and still the rewards are nice. And then of course you get those achievements, but the other guys don't get to see that. T-motor with 1 archer, I think, and 2 infantry. He killed like 25%. No. He killed like 20% of all the enemies single-handedly. That's really impressive. Reward breakdown: victory, damage, spotting, capture, morale damage. I didn't do any capture this time. Now diversity bonus, it is applied if you bring different kinds of units. Oh, unit replenishment is now automatically deducted from your earnings. It used to be that you had to spend that manually to replenish units, and now it's being done for you in the previous alpha build. But anyway, we get to upgrade our spares, the bronze spares, and we're equipping it right away, spending 15 silver. There you go. And now we need more XP for this, which we don't have, and this, war paint. I'd wish to buy, but we don't have the XP. But fortunately it doesn't say anywhere. Oh, here. So here we need to advance Arminius 1 level, and then we unlock brigands, but that's a unit. Where are the brigands? Here. That's also in the 4th tier, so that makes sense. Completely makes sense.
The clans are ready to fight.
So we need unit XP a little bit more than we need to advance our minions right now, because there's still a couple of upgrades that we can get, like another spare and another body armor. Now, after reviewing the units that you can buy for gold, where are we? Armies. Here, the heavy horsemen, as long as they are armed with swords, I'm not interested in them. And also I think they kind of outdate themselves once you're in tier 8 or 9 or so. I'm totally supposing that these guys 612 558, maybe they'll bring some abilities, I don't know. But then armor 639. So they're more armored, 468. 476 in speed. Wow. So these harbingers are way faster than those guys. So I really wouldn't sacrifice their speed for a unit that you buy with gold. And these guys are even faster, the noble horse, but they're sword armed. Now we'll be playing around with these mounted warband, at least in tier 5. And that'll be the first time that we get to experience sword-armed cavalry firsthand. And then I'm gonna see how I like it. But in any case, I would prefer having these faster units over these slow ones in any situation. Hadrian's Wall, which is a new map for me, So all of a sudden we are in Great Britain, in the north, facing Scotland. There's no tips. Sometimes you get these tips here, how to use the terrain, and most of the times you don't. Look here. Now this I think is broken, because this is tier 5 spares, and I'm here with my tier 3 horses. Some tier 4, okay, I can picture that. But we're with this guy has two tier 2 sword units. So what is he going to do? This shouldn't be possible to mix tier 2 with 5. This is such... I mean, if the enemy brings the same kind of... I'm just gonna protect this artillery guy. And nothing else. And that's just gonna be delaying actions and nothing more. Now I'm hoping this is totally due to population issues, player base. It's also why I hate the fact that they've split up the different continents. Because if that would have been done differently, here's another artillery unit. But anyway, I'm gonna draw my units behind here. I think actually I prefer the normal Total War kind of deployment, so you just can drag. Now once you group them up, you have to move your mouse around to effectively deploy 3 units in a row. Click and drag I would very much prefer, to be honest. Now other guys are doing our scouting for us.
The enemy draws first blood.
Well, the enemy can have its first blood, I don't care. This is a fight for the watchtowers. And I'm just gonna sit here and respond.
Shock cavalry. Run! Shock cavalry. Shock cavalry. Apace!
Now, if the enemy doesn't have tier 5 players in their team, they're very quickly going to be annihilated. And this will be a win. Look here, Celeris. Alright.
Keep moving!
Okay, I'm gonna bring up my other units as well. Even though this is just a single unit. Celeris, I haven't faced them before.
Charge! Run!
Oh,
Men are under attack!
our men are under attack. It's all good.
Keep moving!
Now, he has lost his morale. He is routing. And we are totally...
Kill them all! Morday! Shock cavalry! Our men are under attack! Blood! Blood!
So, okay. I think I've been a little bit too negative about not being able to kill anything. Because we just chewed up a whole unit and haven't lost a single man. Oh, it could be that there's actually a mechanic that increases the hit points on units if you're a lower tier. If that is the solution that they've chosen,
Shock cavalry!
then I'm totally fine with this.
Shock cavalry!
So if I'm getting temporary buffs, let's move over this way. 15,980
Stop! Stop!
is the number in our commander, and 15,930 of our regular units. So I'm gonna play another battle later and then compare the hit points that they've given me. Because if the hit points and perhaps the damage stats are brought up,
Stop! Stop!
this watchtower is being ignored, so I'm gonna try and take it. And just in case there's anything luring out there, I'm gonna bring along a second unit. I think we're pretty safe.
Shock cavalry! Double time! Stop! Stop!
And I wish there was a possibility to see the tiers that the enemy is bringing.
The enemy base will soon be ours!
So I'm gonna bring all my units over here. And suppose that I'm protecting the flank of the artillery anyway.
Shock cavalry!
Okay, move along.
Them down! Keep moving! Shock cavalry! Double
So hoplites, Theban hoplites. They're pretty much the bane of my army. So unless they're being engaged by other units. Okay, let's try this. Oh, he's moving back. Is he moving in? Yes, he is. So now he's not. He's trying to pull him out. Okay. Now he's engaged. So I'm gonna rush him with all my cav units.
Run them down! Kill them all! Protect!
Look how fast I'm dying, losing numbers here. But anyway.
Will soon be ours.
Okay, so now I'm oh look. We've lost quite a couple of guys, but at this level it appears we're winning the battle, and I'm going to
Stop! Stop! Run them down! Enemy base will soon be ours. Slay them! Shock cavalry!
okay, now I'm gonna draw them out again. Look at these Theban hoplites dying. I'm really supposing well, if my units are being buffed up, then so are theirs.
Charge! Shock cavalry! Forward! Onward! Forward!
I think sometimes I'm clicking outside the area where you can actually attack, withdraw to. No, this is just a mopping up action. I'm totally supposing that there was no balance in this game. Okay, I've gained silver. I've used my abilities 10 times. Thank you for recognizing that. I want to seal this, but I don't want to take it this long. I've still killed fewer than that I've lost. I can't see the tiers that they brought. Daily commander victory. We've already had this 100% buff, because if you do one battle with each commander per day, you get more free XP. And right now I'm just playing 2 matches a day. If you I really recommend this game. I'm gonna stick with it. It's fun, it's enjoyable. It's just that I also play other games. But say I were only playing this game, then I would fight battles with all the different commanders, and I would mix my diversity, at least with all the other infantry commanders, and max out the battle rewards. And of course it has its benefits, because you learn the names of all the units in the tech trees of the enemies. You learn how they behave, their weaknesses and strengths, and of course as an attacker you can play to that. So if you have the time for it, obviously I would recommend doing so. Now, shop closed for color packs. Okay. Now that is something, if I can color each of my units in a different color, then at least I would know which is 1 and 2 and 3. So I would totally go for this if that would help, because right now I'm often clueless whether or not I'm giving orders to my first, second or third unit. I think it's a disaster, so at least gonna keep some gold reserved for that. And then I hope you've enjoyed these two battles, this episode. If so, and you've watched all of it, please do leave a like if you've liked it. Also feel free to leave a dislike. Of course, it doesn't help me. And if you have any comments or things that you've noticed that you think I could improve on, or that make you feel whatever discussed, put a comment down below and let me know. So see you next time.